Hello, 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 everybody. It is time for the top 10 at 10. I am Nikita Brown, the nurse practitioner that comes to you from Zing Life Services with the top 10 at 10, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock with 10 ways to get and keep you healthy. Hope that you are hopping on into the broadcast. Let me log into my other device here. As I do this, make sure you shout yourself out as you come into the broadcast, and if you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay for those who are joining on replay, and hello for those of you who are coming into the room tonight. Let's kick it off with the mission. You know how we do. You should be able to say it yourself by now, but the mission of Zing Life Services is to improve the quality of life within the community. Basic health skills, health promotion and wellness, and self-esteem development are the hallmarks of the organization's program, and we strive to promote programs that decrease inequalities and disparities in health. So that's who we are, and that is what we do. And so tonight, I am not going to be before you long. I know you've heard that before. Not going to be before you very long, so I just want to highlight a few things. So number one, welcome to the room. Number two, we've gotten the mission out of the way. Number three, it's midweek hump day. So some of you are making it over that hump as we approach the end of the week. It is all downhill from here. Number four, let's get into our blog. So for those of you who are not subscribers to our blog, you can go to our website, www.zinglifeservices.com. Click on that blog link. You will see updates from us about once a week with content that will help you, of course, improve and maintain your health. So blog post went up today, and I'm going to highlight some things from that blog because I know many of you didn't have opportunity to read it yet, but if you want to, don't forget what I said, www.zinglifeservices.com. Click on that blog. You can subscribe so that you won't miss a weekly blog from us. All right, so I gave you 5 things that you need to do at your next cookout. We've been talking about food a lot. Because it's the time of year when people cook out, you eat out a lot. So we need to make sure that you understand what you need to do to keep your stomach, to keep your health, to keep your body well during these summer months. So we've been talking about food tonight, and our blog focused on food. So again, if you didn't have a chance, you can tune into that. So I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to do when you have your next cookout. Let's see. If you're ready, say ready. Ready for these 5 tips. All right, the first one, you need to exercise. Exercise extreme cleanliness. Exercise extreme cleanliness. What do I mean by that? I mean you need to make sure that where you are going, if you're cooking out at a park, if you're cooking out at someplace you are unfamiliar with, you need to see if they have running water. Sounds very basic, but this is how you're going to keep your supplies. This is how you're going to keep things clean. If they do not, you may want to take your own water along with some soap. I have a running joke with one of my very good friends. We went to a cookout several years ago, and we're not aware of the actual conditions. So she was the first one who I actually had opportunity to witness bring out some water, sudsy water, and soap as we were at the cookout so that we could be sure to keep our supplies clean while we were there. So I remember that, and that has stuck with me, and so I want to make sure I pass it along to you, because if you're going to somewhere that is not familiar to you, don't be ashamed to take your own soap, your own water, because other people need it too. So you'd be surprised how many people were asking her for this soap and water, self included, because we didn't realize where we were going. Now, if you are at someone else's home, then of course you know that you likely have access to water. So since you have it, use it. Just because something doesn't look dirty does not mean that it is not dirty. So you need to make sure that you are exercising cleanliness, that you are cleaning your utensils, the surface areas, all those things, because we know contamination is prevalent. So that's the first thing you're going to do is exercise cleanliness. The second thing you're going to do is reinforce. Reinforce the importance of cooking food completely. So these people that like their burgers medium rare, those people that like their food not all the way done. You want to make sure that you reinforce the fact that food should be cooked to certain temperatures. I wish we had Candace on because she knows those temperatures by heart. That's what she does. She's a food expert. But just make sure you know that food should be cooked at certain temperatures. And just because it looks good, it looks done on the outside, doesn't always mean it is done. So what are you doing to check this food to see if it really is done? What are you doing to check the temperature on the food? You should have a thermometer that you can use to check the temperatures on the food. You can insert, you can cut in the center, see if there's blood, see if there's pink. You want to make sure your food is cooked. Let's eat cooked food. So number one, we're exercising cleanliness. Number two, we are reinforcing the quality of cooking food done. Number three, you want to cut your hot dogs. We talked about this last night. We've talked about this, I think, every night. So you all should know about the dangers of hot dogs and choking. If you don't, if you're not convinced, you can look it up. Statistic after statistic will show you that hot dogs are the leading cause of choking for our young people under the age of 3. So if you are giving them a hot dog, you want to make sure you're cutting it lengthwise, not just chopping it up, because the size of the hot dog will lodge into their throat, and it's a number one cause of choking. The hot dogs are also encased, so you want to make sure to take that casing off the hot dog as well. Again, we are trying to improve the choking rates. We don't want our kids choking at cookouts. How many cookouts have you gone to and you see little kids walking around with hot dogs? Yes, let's cut these hot dogs up for the kids. Let's cut them up lengthwise. You can put them in a bun once you cut them lengthwise, but let's keep our kids safe. So number three, we're going to cut our hot dogs. If you're just tuning in, I'm Nikidra. I'm talking tonight about the blog. If you haven't seen our blog, it comes out on Wednesday, www.zinglifeservices.com. Click on that blog post, subscribe so you don't miss a Wednesday. I don't recap them every week, but I felt like tonight, since we've been talking about food, then I would do just that. So you can read the full content on the blog page, but let's get to the next thing you should be doing at your cookout. You should be separating. You should be separating your cooked food from your uncooked food. Two separate things, two separate utensils, two separate plates. We don't keep our chicken in one plate, put it on the grill, and then put the chicken that's cooked back in the same plate. No, that's a no. Cooked foods should be among cooked foods, and uncooked foods should be among raw and uncooked foods. You never use the same utensils or plates for these foods. So it sounds, again, very simplistic, but you get in the moment, you don't have what you need. Oh, I can just put this chicken in the same container. Just put a piece of foil or put a piece of paper towel over it. Y'all know how we do. Put a piece of paper towel over it, and you are increasing your risk for contamination and illness. So make sure that you wash. That might be why you need that soapy water. Make sure you wash that utensil. You wash that plate. You wash that container thoroughly before you put any cooked food in it, because you want to make sure that you are decreasing the risk for infection and bacteria related illnesses. Okay, so that is the thing that you want to do. If you haven't already, make sure you share this broadcast out. We're going to be short and sweet tonight. Want to make sure people get the updates about what they should be doing as it relates to food safety. If you're here with me now, hello, and thank you for coming into the room. It is midweek hump day, so we are going to go down the hill into the weekend. Number 5, we want to make sure you store. So you want to store your leftovers at appropriate temperatures. You want to make sure that your food does not stay out for longer than 2 hours. Longer than 2 hours after it's cooked. Yes, longer than 2 hours after it's cooked, you want to put it in the refrigerator. And if it's above 90 degrees, it needs to get in that refrigerator in less than an hour. Okay, so again, all of this is an effort to improve your potential for getting sick, your potential for getting ill. So that is why we do this. That's why we are so passionate about food safety. That's why we want you to take it serious, because somebody somewhere gets sick over things that they don't do that they should have, could have, would have to help prevent them from getting sick. All right, so those were the 5 things that you needed to do with your food as it relates to the next time you have a cookout. Again, make sure you look at that blog, www.zinglifeservices.com. Click the blog link. I wanted to share also, if you are in the Greenville, Washington area, Eastern North Carolina, I have a date I need you to mark down. More information coming soon, but you're going to want to be with us on July 27th. July 27th, more info to come soon, but mark your calendars. Going to be something super exciting, and I cannot wait to share it with you all. If you are watching it and are in the Raleigh-Durham area, you're going to be looking at Monday, July 30th. Again, more information forthcoming, but go ahead and mark us on your afternoon calendars for those dates, because you're going to be glad that you did. Now, as we hop off for tonight, I just want to remind you all, and I had a post on my personal page about help. Wanted to just say, sometimes we all ask for help. We need help in different areas in our lives. We pray for help. We ask for help in our mind. But when the help comes, it doesn't always look like that image that we've had in our head. It doesn't look like that person can help us. You don't feel like somebody could always help you, but be encouraged that your help might come in a manner that you don't always know. Your help might not be the way that you expected it to come. And if your help comes in some form, shape, or fashion that you didn't expect, and you decline the help that you asked for, that you prayed for, that you wanted so bad, then what happens? You think that your prayers have gone unanswered. You think that the system, quote unquote, has failed you. But is it the system? Is it that your prayers have gone unanswered? Or is it that you just did not accept the help that was right there because it did not look like what you imagined, because it did not look like what you thought you wanted, because it did not look like help? So make sure that you are being always vigilant, that you know that big things come in small packages, that you know that you should not despise small beginnings. Everybody has to start somewhere, and just know that your help is on the way. If that's what you desire, your help is on the way. You just have to make sure that you are in position to receive your help, because if you're not in position and it comes, it will pass you by. And even if you are in position and you think that that's not what you're asking for, it may pass you by because you weren't willing to accept something that was actually what you needed. All right? So that's what I have for you tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow night for the Top 10 at 10. Again, if you are here live, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you standing in the room with us, as we call it. And if you're watching on replay, you know I like those hashtag replays so that I can see if you are here and acknowledge you as well. So I'm going to hop off for tonight. Y'all have a good rest of the night. We'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.